He wants to make sure that he can eat Garen. The funny thing is that we can actually stop him eating Garen this turn. That just stops him eating Garen this turn, which is amazing, because I'm guessing that was the move. The move was do that. Hello, Gomez here yet again from the LAN Up channel with another deck for you today, but this one is not actually involving one of the KDA cards. I've been doing a lot of decks on the KDA cards, so if you haven't checked those videos out, please feel free to. This is about using Stony Suppressor. So, because obviously there's a lot of Warmothers, there's a lot of Feel the Rushes out, and obviously Stony Suppressor, if you can get 2 of them on the board, makes those cost 14, which means that they're no longer useful anymore to your opponent. So, let's get into this deck. So I've called the deck Suppressive Force, and as I said, the whole idea of this is basically to be countering those Warmothers, to be countering those really kind of spell heavy things, obviously like Karma as well, the spell heavy deck. So this deck itself doesn't really have many spells in it other than Ranger's Resolve and Mobilize. Admittedly, I'm not 100% like, you know, I could leave Mobilize out. I just went with it because I thought that it seemed like quite a nice idea to be able to literally, if you've got a nice hand of things, mobilize and then throw things out quite quickly. But in all honesty, Mobilize can be left out of this deck. Part of me wanted to throw a little bit of P&Z in. My reason for wanting to throw a little bit of P&Z in is because Demacia, while being really like strong, and it's all about building units, obviously if you can build a board up quick enough and then put that bannerman down and then just be laughing about all the, which is like, you know, what you can create and what you've got. I do like that, but I'm not gonna lie, the lack of draw. I know that there's obviously draw that comes in through the Redeemer. Through if something dies, you can get a little bit of draw and summon a unit. But I do like a bit of draw. I'm not gonna lie, I do like a bit of draw, and so it kind of you kind of lose that sadly with this. But it's still, I'm going with it full on Demacia deck, so you always are going to be hitting those bannermen, so you don't have to worry about, oh no, not going to hit. But if I was to throw a little bit of P&Z in, it would merely just be draw spells. That would literally be, so maybe a couple of static shocks or maybe one progress day. That literally would have been it, just so that when you run out of steam, you're not done. That was literally all I would put in. Right, let's go through this. Obviously, you got your standard turn 1, Ranger's Resolve, really good for getting you past Withering Well and Avalanche. Battlesmith, because of how many elites are in this deck, Battlesmith just ends up like, you know, really paying for himself in terms of just like the amount of buffs that he can get going on, as well as Bannerman. Like once Bannerman goes on the board, boom, everyone going up. Garen also counts as an elite, so that really helps with the elite synergy coming off of you. Quinn's in here just because you get a little bit of extra kind of scout moves. That's why Grizzle's in here as well, is for those additional scout moves. Because we're playing so many things, I'm actually gonna go, I would normally put this in the deck, and actually I have, like when I initially put this deck together, obviously I put her in the deck, but part of me is now feeling remove and put Cytherea in instead. Now my reasoning for putting Cytherea in instead is because the Fearsome, that 1/1 stat boost onto everyone, as well as the Fearsome, there's not, so it just means you're kind of stopping some counterplay that could be coming, especially against the Trundle Soul deck when they've got their stones and whatnot out. It's just that which is like stopping that from attacking. You do have the ability of using Screeching Dragon to draw those things off, and that's kind of what Elmhop was doing. There is room in this deck to put in some Relentless Pursuits, because obviously Relentless Pursuits, because of how powerful this can be. The Stony Suppressor would start getting this cost up, and so I did try to make a deck as like as less on the spells as I possibly could because of the suppressors, because you kind of only want that to be working against your opponent rather than working against you. So this is the deck that I've come up with, and obviously for the Fallen, you want to be trying to mulligan to at least have one of these in your hand at the start of game. If not, then obviously if you've got like a really good early game, keep it. But I do like the idea of having one of these, because every elite that you are playing, every single elite that you're playing, that's another reason why I want to play Cytherea the Bold, is because what's her face, Elmheart doesn't count as an elite, so you still get elite synergy with Zithria, which is very nice, especially with working with For the Fallen. So that literally, if your opponent does manage to come up with perfect trades, Ruination, I mean, admittedly, if you can get some suppressors on that board, that Ruination is going to be happening later and later than what they want it to. But if they do, then immediately being able to refill your board, there's not much your opponent can do against that. That's why, admittedly, a Relentless Pursuit would be nice, but potentially if Garen's on the board, the rallying that would happen at the start of every turn is still going to be quite nice. But yeah, that's kind of where this deck is going. I do like. I do apologise. There's certain aspects of this deck that I really do like. It's very, very attacky, all about building up that minions. Lovely, tough minion in here, especially if you can start buffing him up with either, the Battlesmith, or with Bannerman. It's just it's a lovely thing. I do love the idea of this. So before we get into a couple of games, I do apologise. I feel a little bit out of breath. I don't know why I'm out of breath. It's all gone terribly wrong for me. But there is the Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to follow me on any of them, I'd very much appreciate it. I do stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So you want to come catch the action live, duel me, give me deck suggestions, or just come and watch the merriment and foolishness of Gomez playing a card game, please feel free to come involved, because let's face it, it always goes terribly wrong in the end, or there's always like weird misplays in good times. Remember as well that if you do watch any clips that you do, make sure to post them into the Discord link down below if you want to join that community, because there is a clips competition where you could actually potentially win some money if your clip gets chosen as being one of the best clips at the end of the month, because basically in that Discord you guys then vote at the end of the month for your favourites, and the winner wins a £4 Steam gift voucher. I could potentially actually make that into points for the game, so that you could like actually win in-game points, so you can use it to buy cards. That probably would be more useful. So if you guys feel that way, yet again, that's something that let me know down in the comment section down below. But also, talk about the comment section down below, the subscription. If you want to subscribe or follow, I do have a goal of trying to hit 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 followers on Twitch by the end of the year. So 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or 1,000 followers on Twitch by the end of the year. We're really close. And it's amazing. The amount of support has been overwhelming. So honestly, thank you all so much. Try and hit that by the end of the year. If I do manage to hit one of those goals or both of them, I will have to do something to celebrate, and honestly, to thank you all so much, because it has been amazing. You really seem to like this weird, energetic, crazy, fuzzball, curly head, mustachioed bastard man, and he couldn't be more thankful, in all honesty. Thank you so much. So anyway, without further ado, let's see how this deck does in a couple of matchups. Fearsome. Okay, so early game Fearsome. If we can buff our units up, we can actually get ourselves into an okay position against this. But so yeah, I'm going to actually keep the For the Fallen. I'm going to get rid of both Garens, and I'm going to keep For the Fallen. I'm looking for early game, so admittedly Battlesmith starts to buff my stuff up past the point of Fearsome. There is also the chances of Unspeakable Horror and things along those lines, so we kind of have to be careful when it comes to those. But the fact that we can start getting our stats up, I could technically use Ranger's Resolve here against this trade, but I'm potentially going to have to use it against Diana, aren't I? Yep. Because let's face it, we have to keep this man alive. I should have probably been waiting in case that was going to happen. I really didn't want to have to use Ranger's Resolve this early, but I mean, if it's what's going to help us get through this as well as killing this Diane, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Because I mean, it just means that those power cascades aren't just putting more copies of that. Like it stops that power cascade from ramping up on us and being terrible. I really would have loved if we could have got Zithria, because Zithria would have been this and then throwing down Zithria as well, so we could have got those buffs. Next turn, going into this, and then the turn after going into Bannerman is going to be lovely. I'm not going to lie. Those turns of going from that into, going from this into, I'm actually going to pass the turn. Because rather than go for the attack, I really hoped that passing the turn would have just ended it, because obviously they've still got 3 mana. Yeah, no. This is why I wanted it just to end. I'm actually going to throw this attack forward now because he can't use Power Cascade to get past this. Not seen on Suppressor yet, which is a shame because obviously forcing those Power Cascades to cost more is devastating. But yeah, like, as you can see, this move here is just going to get down the cost of both of these because it's per elite. So that now then gets those costs, boom, boom, boom. And then when Bannerman hits next turn, that is going to be devastating. We could throw this in front of here. Actually, we could just take this hit. I'm going to take this hit. I think that there's too many things, and the chance, which is like a potentially of what's his face, Power Cascade. Oh, I mean, he does realise that's maybe he forgot about the ephemeralness of the situation there. Right, throw down Bannerman, and that is now a devastating board. That is now a devastating board that is going to be very hard for our opponent to counter. So what we do here, that's absolutely fine. Ooh, Nocturne. I mean, the fact that we still have 3 damage, so we can still get rid of those while also throwing this guy forward, because if I throw this guy forward, he can trade off with that. So throwing those two forward, he hasn't got a Power Cascade to get himself out of that. We still keep one of our minions, while him losing his Nocturne is a really big thing for him. Mobilize. I mean, admittedly, not with this. That's why Mobilize. I'm not 100% sure about that card, but yeah, there you go. The devastating concede. He knows there's no way forward. Tom Kench. Actually, if we can get Stony Suppressor, Tom Kench's spell continuously costing more is going to end up being quite a devastating thing for him. We don't have any. What's his face? We don't have any counter to the Landmark, so we need to hope that we can beat the crap out of them before Landmark hits. Potentially keeping Garen might have been a better plan, because obviously Garen has the ability to, once he strikes in, to be getting that what's his face, to be getting that rally. So potentially maybe we should have kept Garen. This is not the best starting hand. Obviously we've got our turn 1, but it's not the best starting hand in general. I don't think this is going to go well for us, this matchup, because the fact that he can start just eating our units and then healing Tom Kench up, which they can do to a devastating degree. I don't think we're gonna have a good time this match. That's just what my guess is. Especially not when you top deck 3 Quins one after the other. That's definitely not kind of the curve that you're looking for, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, no, I reckon turn 4 he immediately throws that. Okay, right, so he hasn't got any of the early game units yet. Hasn't got any of the early game. What is this? What is this? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm hoping that he doesn't immediately throw Tom Kench out right now, because obviously throwing Tom Kench out might be, will actually be very problematic for us. So we just need to hope that we don't see Tom. That's not bad. That's not bad. That is not bad. Because the more that we can, I mean, he can obviously use an Astral Protection to get this past. Oh no, or a Hush, so that it means that we don't get our second minion out of this. And now we attack full with Cyphria, just because the fact that we're trying to deny this. The hand that we've currently got, we've kind of got to go with that, because it's very unlikely that he's going to want to lose those heals, is what I'm trying to say from that. Because he's also trying to level up his Fabergé, Soraka. So Tom Kench yet again is not hitting the board. So we're going to throw Garen onto this. We're going to throw Garen down, because if we threw out Battles, I mean, before his attack move, he's got the ability just to box the push and hook people. So this just makes it a little bit unlikely that he's going to go for a huge attack move. Next turn, when it's in our move, then we can go for using Battlesmith, and then going for throwing out some elites. We could actually just throw the Quinn out. we could actually just go throwing Quinn out. Or Cyphria, because Cyphria means that he can't defend with these ones. Yeah, no, we're gonna go bold, because this is meaning that the only person who he can defend with is his Boxtopus. If only we had Relentless Pursuit in this. If only we had Relentless Pursuit. Or Reckless Pursuit. Keep saying names wrong right now, but anyway, yes. So the only thing he can defend with is there. We actually have got the ability to use Ranger's Resolve to save Cyphria's life right now. Which I'm actually going to do. Let's save her life. Having a bald on our opponent is very important. The fact that Garen's actually managed to hit in as well is very nice. The fact that he hasn't actually drawn his Soraka or Tahm Kench is devastating. The fact that he's not been able to draw either of them has actually been amazing so far. He's still years away on this front. I mean, obviously he could still throw out his Soraka right now. Nope, he's throwing out Tahm. Right. So we know next turn is going to be a devastating one for our opponent. So we have to go with building a board as much as we can. So we could either go down the elite way, or we could even go down this way. But yeah, we literally have to build a board as much as possible because we want. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with you. The thing of it is that we need to build a board because the fact that we need to immediately go in for an open. We need to immediately go in for an open. So that's fine. I don't even mind sacrificing Valor here. Because we do need to go in for an immediate attack forward. We could throw this Valor out, but I feel like the maximum amount of damage. I'm not gonna be going for the scout move first. I am literally just going to be going for immediate attack. Yeah, because we kind of need to do this move. He can defend with this, but that's and the Boxtopus. And obviously Tahm Kench can eat somebody. But we've kind of got to go for this move. Oh, forcing him to use his Bastion, to not save. I mean, why is he not using? I mean, he could have already hit, but I guess he wants to kill Quinn. Yeah, no, makes sense. So on the plus side, Garen's leveled. Okay. So admittedly, Relentless Pursuit would be amazing, or Reckless Pursuit would be amazing, but obviously we've got what we've got. So the only problem with throwing the Stony Suppressor out right now is that she gets eaten next turn. Okay, fair enough. He wants to make sure that he can eat. He wants to make sure that he can eat Garen. The funny thing is that we can actually stop him eating Garen this turn. That just stops him eating Garen this turn, which is amazing, because I'm guessing that was the move. The move was do that so that he can eat Garen this turn. So actually stopping that is amazing. We're going to actually go with throwing out the Screeching Dragon here. But the hilariousness of the fact that that stopped that move. Obviously he can use it this move, but we actually still get the rally. So we've immediately got the rally right now. And so he can eat Garen, but he's going to need to have the immediate, admittedly, Astral Protection. I know for a fact that they can have Astral Protection. Potentially we just throw Quinn out and go for the Scout move. Because we can throw Quinn out and go for the Scout move and then go for another attack. So actually the ability to do 2 attacks on our opponent when they're not expecting it is actually devastating. See, we needed to keep Garen alive that last turn to get the rally this turn. Because this is now putting our opponent in like a corner. We're backing them into a corner where it's just like they have to do something, otherwise they're done. I mean, honestly, I was expecting him to try and save Tahm Kench's life because he does realise that Tahm Tom's not in the best situation right now, with the fact that we have the devastation of then being able to go into another attack of grabbing him with this. So probably if it were me, I would have made sure that he'd got rid of the scout. Because now he's only got one card in... Yeah, but you know, I was going to say, he's only got one card in hand, and we've got the ability just to smash through and hit that, and then our bald Garen comes back, and then it's our attack turn. So that was actually devastating. That worked really well for us. Okay. Yep. I mean, an old favourite. These two working together with Noxus, so expect culling strikes and things like that. So we kind of needed to be trying to get our units past culling strike. There is actually some really early game aggression, especially with the Noxian. I'm actually going to get rid of Garen here. I might actually keep you. But there's some really early game aggression here. I'm expecting... Is this going to be a hard match? This is without a doubt going to be a hard match. I'm expecting the Battlesmith to get Culling Strike, potentially. So, go with that. Immediately throw you out. So next turn going into you, but I do feel like you're gonna get Culling Strike if Culling Strike is in that hand.
Ready for deployment.
Culling, because you're the one who... Ooh, no. Okay, this has gone down a far more Yeti route. Respect. Okay, we can sacrifice for the good of draw. So we're gonna sacrifice you for the good of draw. Whew, didn't even get to do the damage.
Gladly, sir. Remember the fallen.
Okay, so what we're gonna do... What is their draw? I mean, we can start making that cost more. But it really is it worthwhile making that cost more right now, or do we need to focus more on the bald build? We have got a Bannerman, so potentially going down this route. Gonna force him to waste all that mana. I feel like Ashe was in hand and he was waiting for us to attack. That's nice. Now that we've got this, we actually have some really good potential moves coming out. So we could take that. We could take that damage, which is what I'm gonna do. It's a lot to take. It is a lot to take, but Cyphria going into a Bannerman is actually quite a devastating move.
And a long path to get...
Cyphria going into a Bannerman, which does actually mean that both of these... It does mean that both of these get buffed up to the stat that they need to. That's absolutely fine. Would have been lovely to have Garen. On this board, but we didn't have the mana for him. I don't mind this because attacking forward with Cyphria gives these 5, so it means that we can actually get rid of those Yetis. We could actually hook off you, just because admittedly you are an annoyance. So potentially just going with a really powerful attack here is not bad. You might get Culling Strike. I still believe that Culling Strike is in this deck because it's a known favourite to throw Culling Strike into that deck. So I do expect it. But yeah, just using you to hook you out. We still attacking foot. We're actually going to keep you. We're going to keep you behind. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, why is he not going for the? I mean, okay, right, he's got a harsh winds or something, hasn't he? He's got a harsh winds or something that he knows. He knows, right? So I want to be hooking you, and I want to be hooking at least one of those Yetis. But yeah, I want to keep you back. He potentially just a, what you call it? Yeah. So he's going to do some damage to her, which is a shame. But I don't 100% mind this trade-off if we can get this, but potentially Harsh Wind so that he saves both of these could be a thing, because obviously he could have it in the deck to be able to combo Asher Harsh. Yep. There was the chance of it, we always knew, but we had to kind of at least go for an attempt, right? Throwing the Stony Suppressor out. Throwing the Stony Suppressor out. It does mean that our spell goes up in cost, but we have ways of hopefully bringing it down. As well as the fact that we can actually just go for a massive trade. We can actually go for a massive trade-off and then play this. So it's not the worst. He has leveled Ash as well. He has actually leveled Ash. We need to be removing this, so we kind of need to either throw the dragon out to remove you, or we need to keep you alive in order to trade with this, because the shaman is becoming an annoyance. I mean, is he throwing down? I mean, yep. So actually getting rid of those two is a devastating move. I could potentially throw Garen out into this. We potentially throw Garen out into this just because he is actually like something that they don't want to be dealing with. So we could throw Bannerman. Okay, I mean he's got no defense against. I mean we still can throw Garen into this. We throw Garen into this. We could actually, as I said, throw these into here, but it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it this turn. So actually, correction, it is worth it because we need to. Sorry, ignore me. We need to actually stop that from being a thing. I 100% nearly forgot about the terrible peril I was legitimately in. Because let's face it, that was terrible peril I was legitimately in. So at least we get to do this move. Potentially, maybe we should have waited, and we could have obviously used Screeching Dragon, because we do want to be getting rid of this. We do want to be getting rid of this. Hopefully, we can get rid of you through using this move. But I do know that there's obviously so much Frostbite and whatnot in that deck that he potentially just stops this. Whoo! Doesn't like letting things go easy, does he? I knew that Culling Strike would most likely be a staple in that deck, though. At least on the plus side, we get to use the Redeemer to at least get some draw. So that is at least something. Okay, throwing the dragon out as well, just because the dragon now means that it becomes an easy trade against his Yeti. So we will be losing people, but on the plus side, we will also be, you know, I mean, it would be amazing the fact that we have this. So what we can do is sacrifice a lot of people and then bring them back. So on the plus side, although we are losing the board, we can rebuild them. Whether or not that's what we want to do, potentially actually going into a scout move is actually far better, so I'm going to go with that instead. Potentially we see her be Culling Striked, but we do have another. If she does get Culling Strike, I mean, this is a Yeti Elnuk deck. I'm not gonna lie, that was not what I was expecting. That was not what I was expecting. But it's fine. It's fine. So we're actually gonna go for an immediate scout move here, grabbing you and letting the other one attack forward, and then we go into a move with the dragon where we can actually like hook something out. I mean, the fact that he's not drawn either Ash or Sejuani has actually been amazing for us, in all honesty. Okay, there we go. So we could actually throw Garen. We could actually throw Garen out. He can still trade, which at least he's still got some trades with Garen. which admittedly is not what we want to see. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Right, so I'm gonna go with trying to. I mean, do we get rid of the Elnuk synergy? No, we're gonna get rid of the better health stat, while also throwing these two out, because we do have this that we can use. So that also gets down the cost of our For the Fallen. So it actually works out okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. Still hitting him with 3 damage. I can live with that. Killing this. He does still have the units that if he's got an Assessor, he does get a nice bit of draw. So the Assessor does give him a lovely bit of draw. But it's okay. It's okay. We now throw these two out just to get down the cost of our For the Fallen. Admittedly, I did not calculate how much space I had on the board. That was my mistake. For some reason in my head I thought that I lost 2 people. Then I did not lose 2 people. Yet again, mistakes were made. There's Ash. We actually do have a lot of things. So we actually do have things that can still hit her. So even though she will stun Garen, we do actually have things that can hit her. As well as the fact that we do still have the ability to trade okay. So Garen should be hit yet. Garen gets hit here. We could actually technically throw Garen in the way of this, because actually no, he won't get a strike. He has to strike, so he has to have some attack in order to strike. So it means losing you, because I mean, I'm guessing is there. Yep, there is. I mean, he could have waited. He could have waited until I did the attack forward so that he had that. But I mean, either way. Right, we're gonna put you here. We're gonna put you over here. The Stony Suppressor is actually gonna go in front of this. So we take 4 damage. We take 4 damage because we kind of want to keep Quinn alive at this moment in time. So we lose the Stony Suppressor, but admittedly they're starting to run out of spells, and we're in the late game where literally he can play anything. He's not like he's playing Warmothers or anything along those lines that we need to be countering along those like that. So I don't mind this. We're actually like stopping, if he top decks an Assessor, we're stopping like the maximum draw that he could have got. I mean, I want to throw this out first so I want to have a scout minion, but we could actually throw out For the Fallen. We could actually throw out For the Fallen to have an even more devastating attack, because obviously we did just lose a bunch of people. So building a board, we definitely are going to be, so we're going to be losing one again, but the fact that we've got a full board against our opponent right now, and we can immediately go into a attack of this that he has to defend, and then we can go forward with that. So the fact that he's only got 1, so potentially if he's got harsh winds, if he had harsh winds, he could have got round that, because obviously what we would have done was we would have he would have had to have stunned both of them. That's fine. Let's see what he. Ooh. I mean, GG. It does give him draw as well. It does give him draw. But yes, sadly, we cannot stop all of that. What we can do though is we can still actually level up Quinn, because all we've got to do is have. We could have just attacked forward with her.
Captain Crownguard, I'm Cythria.
So we could attack forward with her. The only problem is that we lose her to this guy. Actually, no, we don't, because we can throw out Ranger's Resolve. Don't worry about it. Because basically, that should come out to grab the big man. And then if he tries to range... Actually, her level up as well means her health goes up. So actually, she's finding so many different ways. But as I said, we did have the Ranger's Resolve as well to help. But that's fine. That's fine. So... We've got a leveled up Quinn. We've got a lovely kind of backline. This has not gone the way that we wanted it to, but it's still useful. Okay, so throwing out our scout minion just because I don't really mind if he dies, because he does make another minion. Yep, no, he's done. He's done. He knows. He knows. So that is the Suppressive full stack. Sadly, we didn't actually get to see it against Warmothers. We did actually get a very satisfying suppressor against Tom Kench to stop him from being able to eat Garen, which was amazing. It actually won us the game because of that. So I do like this kind of deck. It does focus in on just like 100% getting board dominance and buffing that board. Sadly, I said it's the lack of draw that I just like. I don't know, but that's just personal. I know there's some people who don't mind playing that kind of deck because it is an all or nothing deck, but I do like a bit of draw, so that's why part of me kind of wanted to put a little bit of P&Z, but it does weaken the bannerman, like there's the chance of it not hitting. But I do really like this deck, and it definitely is interesting. The Suppressor is a lot of fun when it hits when you want it to, but sadly, I said we didn't get to play against any Warmothers. But let me know what you think about the deck down below. If there's any changes you would make, let me know down below. If you run it, let me know how it goes. As I said, if you want to catch me live, I do stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if you want to come catch the action live, duel me and all that kind of stuff, I'm always up for good times. If you want to have a good laugh, come by, because it's always like this, just crazy stupidity happening all the time. Also, there is the Discord link down below if you want to check out the Discord, so you can join and make a lovely community of people, as well as the fact that there is a games night and a movie night in there. So if that sounds like fun, building a lovely community of people who love Legends of Runeterra, love game, and like having a laugh, then please feel free to join. There is also the ability to subscribe and follow over there if you want, because I have got my goal of hitting 1,000 on either, or if we hit them both, it'd be amazing by the end of the year, which I did say earlier on. But honestly, thank you all so much, and until next time, bye! You do it. I said don't you do it. Okay. Is there literally anything that I could draw or that I could get from Flash of Brilliance that could save me? Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.